Everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Nice to have you all back.
We have no topic tonight. We had company all day, and then we went, oh wow, we have like 45 minutes. We've got to get on here. And now we're here. Tony Bennett died today, 96. And looks, just to show you, there's our buddy Tony right in front of my head. There we are with Tony.
And I think this was in, I want to say 2007.
2007, I think. Yeah, and he came. We went backstage and spent 15 minutes with him. What a nice guy! And we've said this story before. He kept coming up to us. How was the show? Was everything okay? I'm going, what the hell?
He was amazing.
Tony Bennett.
He said, I just, was it too loud? Were you comfortable?
Everything okay? And we talked about Calgary and talked about how the tour was going and how's he doing. He says, always appreciative to be here. He's just the nicest guy. And, so we spent 15 minutes of, Tony Bennett gave us 15 minutes of his life, which was really, really kind. And I was the one in the middle for the picture. And then he says, no, let this pretty woman come over here. So he grabs Shannon by the hand and brings her in the middle. And that was
Never forget that.
Isn't that nice?
Just very humble and just really a class act for sure all the way.
Really nice guy. So how's everybody tonight?
Fraser J, big shout out to the nicest couple on YouTube. Aww. Happy Friday Night Live, everyone. Yes, hi. So happy to have you here.
Open topic.
Open topic tonight. Now remember, please hit the like button. It always helps with our algorithms. We so appreciate you, and of course, appreciate the exposure. Is it Justine? Is that how you spell it?
I say Justine.
Justine?
I don't know.
Yes, John's my age and just as knowledgeable.
There you go.
Have they done a worst #1 hit show?
Did we do that? Worst hits of history, I think. Look at my body language a second we did that. I'm going.
Rick May, greetings from Ohio. R.I.P. Tony Bennett, a true artist. Be sure to stop at San Francisco to pick up your heart before you head to heaven. Please hit the like button, folks. Thank you, Rick. Always appreciate it.
What a gentle, beautiful human being he was. Nicest guy I've ever met backstage, bar none. Just nice. I think we could probably bring this down a little bit.
Brian Berkshire, happy Friday. Spacey
happy Friday.
Says, greetings from South Texas.
Stacy?
Hey.
Yeah.
Spacey,
sorry.
Tammy C, hi John Shannon. R.I.P. of course, Tony.
Yes.
All in Black, Fraser says, am I on the right channel?
Oh.
Yes, we are. We're never thought.
Is that a new top?
This is probably what I haven't taken off the hangers in the back yet.
Oh.
But yes, we are definitely all in black tonight.
For Tony.
JP Milanos, hey from Philly. Sue Bailey, hi John.
Hi Sue Bailey. Hi.
The Saline 786, hey, straight out of Loveland, Colorado.
How you doing?
Thanks for letting me double dip on 2 shows today. God bless your loving marriage. Thank you.
Thank you. We had a friend, Debbie Kruger. She's an Australian publicist writer. Who is going to be our guest on future episodes. By the way, we'll have a author guest coming up next week. I sent it to myself. I've never talked to Sean before. Hold on. Where did I put it? Yeah. The book is called Don't Call It Hair Metal. And Sean Kelly, the author, is going to be on next week. He's going to join us. We're going to talk about his book. If you have any questions, if you don't know the book, just check it out. And we'll have him on. I'm looking forward to it. We've been trying to get him on an interview, and I asked his publicist at the publishers, I'm going, well, why don't we just have him on Friday Night Live? That's easy. Just come on, and then that'll be done. Once he's on. It's out there.
Brian says, driving home last night, I flipped on the radio, and I left my heart in San Francisco came on. Haven't heard it in probably 20 years. Woke up this morning to his passing. Strange feeling.
I was watching CNN this morning, and all of a sudden it came up, and I went, what? So I ran upstairs, said, Shannon, Tony Bennett's dead. She's, oh, Tony, we haven't heard from him in a while. Well, he had dementia, Alzheimer's, something was going on with him a few years ago. So we knew he was out of the limelight, but it was still a surprise. 96, I know it's a long life, but,
Darren, Tony Bennett is one of the legacy acts that benefited from a career resurgent from the 90s MTV Unplugged series. A photo with a music act holds more memorable meaning than an autograph.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, a photo is always better now. I mean, I said this morning when I was doing the tribute to him that I had a few LPs. I didn't want to carry LPs around during the concert, and I knew we were going to meet him backstage. because our radio station had something to do with the show. And I was a program director back then. I keep forgetting of the radio station. And so I bought a CD, and I was so enthralled in talking to him, I didn't even think about it. I didn't feel bad about not getting an autograph and going, I got a picture, got a chance to talk to him 15 minutes, which was really generous of him because a lot of people were waiting to talk to him. We got to talk to him first, and he was just hanging out. And so we talked about Calgary and a whole bunch of stuff.
Record Hound. Hey, Record Hound. Good evening, John and Shannon. R.I.P. Tony. Still looking for his 1951 version of Blue Velvet on 78.
Oh, wow. He had such a long career. You know, was fighting in World War II, came back. You know, he was in Bob Hope gave him a big, his big break. It was amazing.
Justine, you should try to do another of these on a Tuesday or Wednesday. People can't make Friday always because they're early drinkers. Well, we did talk about coming on twice a week. We have dabbling that.
I think we might do it on. Yeah, I think we should do it maybe Wednesday. We should come on Wednesday and do just Wednesday Night Live. We don't even have to call it.
Hunter Z, the Hunter Z. Cheers from West Canada. My first visit to your show.
Where are you in West Canada? Where are you? We're in Calgary.
Darren, John, I also saw the interview in the Tony Bennett concert you and Shannon attended July 2nd, 2007 at Jubilee Auditorium with an audience of 2,500. I will email you the review.
Was that Darren?
Yeah.
Oh, Darren, you're so great. Darren's awesome.
It was. Thank you so much. Calvin.
Darren, you keep me on my toes. I like that.
Calvin Beeler. Good evening, John and Shannon. Great show as well.
Thank you.
Yayoi S. Hi, John and Shannon. Shannon, you're so beautiful. Thank you. You're very kind. Elliot Wine. Hi, guys. It's Elliot from New York. I saw Tony Bennett at Westbury Music Fair in Long Island at his Christmas show at the Apollo Theater in New York City. Wow.
Yeah, he was great in concert. I recorded a few. I didn't want to be disrespectful. Not that, some artists don't really care. I don't know if Tony cared, but I had to be careful because I was the program director of one of the stations presenting the show, and I wanted to be careful about that because you're in a sort of a precarious situation. You don't want to be the one that tapes, but a lot of people are taping.
John at Village Advisory. Good day, John and Shannon. Happy Friday night, Saturday morning from Melbourne, Australia. Thanks for the Tony Bennett tribute.
Thank you. And Debbie Kruger, if you're from, you might know of Debbie. She's a writer. She wrote a book. She's going to be on our show. She's going to see Oppenheimer tonight. She was here all day. We had lunch here, but anyway, she interviewed a lot of Australian musicians.
Yes, with her and Cindy.
Yeah, her friend Cindy was here.
To meet them both.
So she lives in LA now, and she's a very good friend of Henry Diltz, and she's the one that got me that interview. Holly Knight as well. She set my Holly Knight interview up, and she's going to be on not next Friday, the Friday after.
Blaze Eisner, good,
hey, Blaze.
Looking beautiful brother John and sister Shannon. Thank you for the wonderful tribute to Tony. Believe it or not, I Left My Heart was on top 40 in the early 60s along with She Loves You.
It's amazing. A career like that and a reputation. Remember I was saying this morning. I always say reputation is someone else's business. You can't decide what your reputation are. A narcissist will. They'll decide and they'll tell you who they are, but they'll tell you. They won't show you, even though you can see who they are. Tony was one of those guys that understood that you just got to be nice to people. And he had even said, I watched a few tributes this morning, way better tributes than I gave. And the two that I saw this morning, one, first of all, said that Tony always wanted to go out with a reputation of being a good person. And the other one said he wanted to be a nice guy. It was important to be a nice guy to people, to be friendly and kind to people. And he certainly was.
Music Cracker, come on whenever you'd like, but give us a 2-day heads up. So we want to come on a Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, we can do a premiere thing. We can premiere it for Wednesday. We'll do one. We'll try to do one on Wednesday.
Oh.
Chase is home on Wednesday.
Yes, just dining. Prince George, BC here. Fires all around us.
Oh, Prince George.
Yeah, out west US.
Who is it? Yeah. Can you phonetically write down how you pronounce that username?
Pope Dope.
Pope Dope.
Did Tony die in? Okay.
Oh, okay. What was that? Okay. Can I see that? What? Okay. Oh, okay. No, that's okay. That was just a mistake.
Okay, no problem. Fraser J, is there any news on the Bobby Kimball documentary I saw on Facebook that still needs some funding? Plus, I think Friday Night Live and the odd phone-in would make a big interactive difference.
Well, he's been on before with us, and if we'll see how it goes in the next couple of weeks. We've got guests for the next 2 weeks. Um, uh, uh, is it Sean Kelly? I wasn't familiar with his work. That's why I have to know. Yes, Sean Kelly wrote "Don't Call It Hair Metal." It's a fun book. It's a cool book. He's going to be our guest coming up next week, and then we have publicist writer Debbie Kruger, who is from Australia and knows so many people. She was at Nicole Kidman, Tom Cruise's wedding. She showed me the picture tonight. And she knows so many different people. It's unbelievable how many people that she's rubbed shoulders with through the years. A lot of Aussie people, but you know, she was a publicist in LA. So she's going to be our guest talking about the republishing of her book coming up the following week. So, yeah.
The Keyboard Chronicles. Yep, when Sinatra says you were one of the best, you were one of the best.
Yeah. Well, you know, when Sinatra is saying such good things about him, that's, you know, Tony Bennett, that's just amazing.
Elliot Ween. Tony had a great version of the Beatles, something on one of his albums.
I don't know if I heard it. I'll have to look it up. Yeah.
Maddie K USA. Hello, Maddie K.
Hi, Maddie K.
Hey
USA.
there, John and Shannon. Just dropping in to say hello and pay my respects to the legend Tony Bennett. Love you guys. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank
Love
you.
you. It was a weird way to start today because I just woken up, and there's a weird thing, you know, you don't want to be, you know, stuck on vanity when you're doing a tribute to a guy, but you also don't want to look like you're a scarecrow. So I got on, and you know, the magic to doing good lighting, Jane Seymour taught me, and I don't know Jane. You met her.
I have.
You said she was small, eh?
Yeah, but so very sweet.
Yeah, you met. She came to
Yeah,
one of her show
one of the
homes.
show homes that we had. I think it was in an estate community, but she had come in, and yeah, she's very sweet.
So she had said before, not to Shannon, but she had said before, with lighting, if you're doing lighting, like right now we have a picture window, our back window here, and the Venetian blind is halfway closed. Because if I put it up full blast, Johnny's eye bags will be in full view. So Jane Seymour says, never get lit from the top. And I went, Jane Seymour, you're right on. Are you barefoot?
I am.
You are.
It's warm in here. Darren says the Tony Bennett tribute on Global News was great. They had footage of Bennett being interviewed in 2002 with Bill.
Who is it? Oh, I don't know.
I don't want to butcher it.
I don't know how to say
With
it.
Chaika of Much Music. Bennett was sketching while being interviewed. Oh, Bennett was sketching him while being interviewed.
Oh, yeah, and he was a painter. Tony Bennett was. I interviewed Christopher Ward from Much Music. I met J.D. Roberts when I was there. When he was on, he's now on Fox News. Not going to touch that. Anyway, yeah, the Christopher Ward interview's coming up. We're going to finally put it up. Really nice guy, great musician too. Co-wrote with Alana Miles, and he was thinking he was going to get lucky with Alana Miles. So he's in there. He thinks Alana's very beautiful. And anyway, she says, well, I'm just going to go in the back and I'll be right back. And he's going, is she going to freshen up? Is Alana Miles going to freshen up? What's going on? Should I be ready for something? So she goes in the back and finally she comes out and she's got a guitar in her hand. And he's, oh, we're co-writing. Okay, that's okay. That's good.
Oh.
True story from Christopher Ward.
Jack Collins, hello everyone. Hope you're doing well. I'm from
Hey, Jack.
Louisiana, and rest in peace, Tony Bennett.
Rest in peace. Thank you.
Yes. Music Tracker. Jane Seymour also rented out her house to Radiohead when they worked on OK Computer.
Wow. Jane Seymour just seems cool. To me, she just seems like she'd be an interesting person to sit down and talk to. And she's a Bond girl. She's still gorgeous.
Fraser J. Jane Seymour, Somewhere in Time, one of my favorite films, and John Barry did the soundtrack.
I saw it in the theater.
Tears every time.
Saw it in the theater. Yeah.
Record Hound. There's one. There are clip videos on the David Letterman and Johnny Carson YouTube channels.
Oh, cool. Thank you. By the way, how's the mic? Is there a lot of echo in here? I noticed that when I'm intro and extra, I'm doing right now we're going through Which one did I do last night? I'm trying to think. I don't know. I was doing an interview, intros and extras, and I listened back to it. And there's an amazing echo upstairs when I'm doing it in our bedroom. So I'm thinking, but when I'm doing an interview one-on-one with someone, I don't hear an echo at all, which is strange.
Except for Danica.
Well, Danica's
really excited.
We call her Munchie. She talks a lot. Danica, happy?
Hi, Danica, happy?
Come and say hi. Come on over. Come and say hi.
Okay.
Come say hi, Dee
Say
Dee.
hi.
Go down so people
say
can see you.
Huh.
Hi.
Thanks,
She's
Danica.
so sweet. Autistic and loving it. She's so comfortable in her skin most days. She's just very much in the moment. And we learn a lot from Danica. And then you have bad days because then she's obsessing on something. But she's a darling daughter.
Oh, and then you were asking about my kids, Justice and Diane. You're asking her for them.
Oh. I don't know. How do you say that? Is it Diane? Diane? Diane?
So.
Pardon my ignorance. I've never seen the name before.
No, the sound is perfect. Everyone says it sounds good.
Oh, good.
Yeah, she was on Quincy. Yeah. Someone asked about Jane Seymour. She was on Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman.
Yes, she was. Who's that dude with the long hair? Whatever happened to him? God, that guy. Remember him? The guy with the long hair? What the heck? The best looking guy. He's like the Marlboro Man. I don't even know his name. I never watched that show. But.
Music Tracker says the audio here, thanks, sounds fine, but there's some hiss in the background. Would that be a fan? Or perhaps...
Oh, it's a computer.
It's the computer.
Yeah, my computer's... my MacBook is getting a little older. Well, thanks to a lot of your donations, we basically gutted it a little bit. We added more memory, and it was great. We had a lot of donations. So
Jeffrey Lang, very kind. No echo, but you can definitely hear the room.
Oh, okay.
Lots going on. Yes.
By the way, just curious, does this help if we put it up? I'm going to putting up the. Is this up? Oh, yeah. Does this help if we put up the sound a little bit, or does it make it worse? I just put it up the gain a little bit because I can't hear it real time. I can't tell if it does. So if that helps, just let me
know. Carlo, John Lynn, I was live. The Beatles would have come back. Thank you.
You know, we were talking a couple weeks ago on the live feed where if she's okay, if John wouldn't have died, almost everyone agrees that there would have been a Beatles reunion. But it didn't happen. It wasn't meant to be. Well, it's not that it wasn't meant to be. It just didn't happen. I'm not such a... I keep going back and forth. It's like you and I. Were we meant to meet? Or was it just like rocks passing in the night? Not that you're a rock. I like to rock, though. I don't know. I keep going back and forth. I'm going... To me, I just think that... I don't know. We met. We got along. We made it work.
Oh, Jeffrey Lang says, hi, Danica.
Thank you.
I'm still not...
Same as Diane.
Anyways, they had said that they got their son tested for autism.
Oh, is that right? Oh.
Record Hound sounds like the condenser mic picking up the air vent.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, it's probably it. Well, it's not. We're using one of these. A Yeti Blue. I call it Jetty Blue. Yes.
Robert Lapointe. Hi, John and Shannon. Tricky question. Is it possible to think of the Beatles catalog to be passé at this point, particularly the early work?
Well, I like the later stuff so much better now. I thought I'd bring the microphone over here.
Sure.
What the heck? I really, after Rubber Soul Revolver, that and After is my sweet spot for the Beatles.
Music Tracker said if John lived, I think John and Paul would have co-written some songs.
I think so. I think there's a really, really high chance that would have happened.
Blaze Eisner, Brother John, Jane Seymour, Roger Moore, Live and Let Die, and your Danica. It doesn't get any better. God bless.
Thanks. Oh, so many crushes. Who's your big? Did you have a big crush in the 80s?
No, not really. I don't think I had like a big like a celebrity crush. I can't say that.
That was my blonde era. I never liked Lonnie Anderson and like that kind of sort of that kind of blonde. Even though I love WKRP, I like Bailey. Is it a Bailey? What was her name? The other girl, the receptionist. Not I don't know what she did. Was she promo on WKRP?
Sorry, coughing from the fan.
Want me to turn on?
No, it's fine. Darren says Billy Joel said on Stephen Colbert that he rehearsed with Tony Bennett to perform New York State of Mind. However, once they performed it live, Tony would do improv and Billy had to wing it. I totally believe that.
Yeah, wow.
He's a lot on improvising for sure.
Yeah. What he liked to do when he did songs, I'm not sure what report I saw. I saw a lot of them that were saying that unlike Sinatra, who would keep it the way it's supposed to be, Tony would sometimes just say, do you want me to turn this off?
That's okay.
But you shouldn't be coughing. I should turn this off.
Okay, sure.
I knew she wouldn't let me do it until I said, but you're coughing.
So his fan always right in front of my face makes me cough. They say, Lean 786, I'm still holding out for Susan Day.
Well, Susan Day, yeah. Did you see the thing with the Partridge Family on SNL? It's like they're doing, I think I love you, and then the Brady Bunch people go in. It's pretend, but Susan Day was a guest on Saturday Night Live. So back then, I think it was LA. Was it LA Law? What was she on? I forget. I never really watched it.
XOXXO Bob. Shout out to Lady Gaga for introducing Tony Bennett to a new generation of music fans. You know what?
Very true.
So yes.
When we had our company today, we were talking about that. You know, I'm not the biggest Lady Gaga fan, especially in the beginning with the egg thing and all that kooky stuff. Going, you're talented. Just sing songs. But you know, she changed. I mean, she's not my lane at all, but she's a great singer and she's very, very talented. So, what?
Just died. I'm holding out for Tina Louise.
Oh.
She just turned 89. I like older women.
Nothing wrong with that. You like what you like, right?
And Darren says also the collaboration Tony Bennett did with Katie Lang was great for both of them as well.
Oh,
right?
I barely remember that. Yeah, wow. It's strange, you know, you change my perspective on things. I'll have in my brain, and Shannon laughs at me, I'll have the 80s stuff, but I've been divorced to my ex-wife for so long and never think that I went with her, even though I'm friends and she's friends with my ex-wife and she's wonderful. But when I think of those, and then I'll have partial relationships there and there, and then I'll have relationships from 97 with Shannon. It's weird. It's almost like they're different categories of concerts. It's not concerts, but I'm with someone else, and I think in my mind I tell myself it's just such a different era in my life that somehow they're different. There's those kind of concerts, then those kind of concerts, and then with Shanny concerts. And sometimes I say it because, I mention it because sometimes I'll forget that I went to a concert. And it's like my ex-wife, Lynn, who remembers everything. That could be good, that could be bad. But my ex-wife said, John, no, we went. I've said this before on the show. She said, no, we went to, I'll always use the same example. We went to the Cars, remember? We saw the Cars. I went, oh yeah. Oh right, that was that phase of my life. I forget. Obviously, I don't remember anything from the concert, but she said you enjoyed it. I went, okay, thanks, Lynn.
Robert Lapointe said, Jan Smithers played Bailey.
Yes,
John, I'm completely with you on that girl next door in contrast to the big blonde look.
Yeah, I mean, Shannon always says my hall passes, what's her name? Alice Eve from She's Out of Your League.
Yeah, he likes Alice.
She always says, Alice comes up, knocks on the door, go ahead, have a good time. I'm like, okay, sure.
Fraser J.
This has turned into an X-rated show.
What Fraser J says, please put the Friday Night logo back over the back wall circle. So you can put the...
I don't have it loaded. Because I just bought a Stream Deck. Stream Deck is like a switcher where I'll have it down here. And when we want to show a picture, I'll just press this little button. I know exactly what's going on. Now I have to come up here and press the buttons on the MacBook. And by the way, we're going to get another camera. We're going to buy a better camera because the MacBook is older and the camera's it's not a very clear camera.
Record Hound says, hate to admit it, but I have best of CDs of both Partridge Family and Brady Bunch.
Oh, nothing wrong with that at all.
Nothing wrong at all.
I love those two shows.
The Keyboard Chronicles, on another topic, it has been interesting seeing the Springsteen tour moving through Europe. They're doing 28 to 30 songs a night in midsummer and kicking ass from everything I'm seeing.
Springsteen is just, is one. I've never seen him. But, I mean, obviously, everyone's seen him in concert on the screen and how he performs. I'm always disheartened when someone dislikes someone because of their political views, but I can understand it. I'm not like that. I've had bad interviews with people, and I still like their music, or okay interviews, and Carl Palmer was a little testy when I talked to him, but Carl Palmer was tired, and I could tell he was tired. I was told he was tired. His publicist wanted me to talk to him because the Emerson, Lake and Palmer book was out, and he had just come off the tour, and he only agreed to do my interview for that period. And so when someone said, well, he seemed a little short. I'm going, he was just tired. And it didn't change my because anyone who looks at Carl Palmer drumming now, no matter what he did in the past, and I've seen him drumming in the past, that Montreal Forum famous concert, but Carl Palmer is like one of the greatest drummers of his age. He's just amazingly good. And he answered all my questions. Look, I'm lagging a little bit on the screen. Can you see?
They said your internet connection's a little bit slower.
Okay.
So. Spacey. Charlene Tilton from Dallas was my first crush.
Oh,
she's about your age, John.
She's old? What?
Saline,
she was so cute, so small. She's a little woman.
The Saline 786. We need to get your ex-wife on here so she can remember your stories.
No, I don't think Lynn would ever come on.
That's a good one. That's good.
We were saying this today. I said, when I met Shannon, I told the story before. I met Shannon. Her parents were going, "Oh, look, he's almost 11 years older. He's got 2 kids, an ex-wife. And, well, how dare he? He's gonna like suffocate our beautiful daughter." And then now and then I'll remind him. I says, "Who's being suffocated? What do you think now?" And not that she's suffocating me, not at all like that. But Shannon's not one of those rollover gals, and my ex-wife wasn't either. I've only lived with 3 women. All 3 women are really strong. They'll tell me if I'm full of crap. I get bored very easily in relationships. I need someone with, oof, this girl's got it.
Oh, you're full of crap.
What? Say what?
David May, I guess you heard Bob
Segarini
passed away in Toronto.
I did a thing for him on the Canadian channel. Yeah.
Sorry, people are talking to each other here.
Good.
Which is great.
We're getting a software update tonight.
Well, that's pretty good. Brian Brookshire said Carl Palmer was one of the greatest drummers ever.
Yeah.
Blaze Eisner.
An interesting man, too. He's one of the most interesting men I've ever talked to. And he's allowed to be tired. That was okay.
Blaze Eisner, Sister Shannon, my oldest daughter is 53. Her favorite band was Duran Duran. Favorite song, The Reflex. Favorite member, John Taylor. Did you have an 80s favorite?
You like Duran Duran. We were just talking about that the other day.
I
Rio came on yesterday.
I couldn't say that I had a specific favorite member, but I did like.
So we're driving. Was it this morning or yesterday? Rio was on the radio, and I said, "Yeah, it was this morning." I said, "Wasn't that the one with they're on the boat or a canoe? Not a canoe, but a boat?" She says, "Yeah, I think so."
But in the 80s, I did like Pet Shop Boys. That was one that I.
Oh, well, George Michael.
Yeah, and George Michael, 100%.
Huge George Michael.
Was a very huge George Michael fan. Let's see here. Just bought a copy of Steve Luke's new album, Bridges. Isn't it amazing? And I wish music was still this commercially good. I feel like it's a dying art.
Steve Lukather's new album is just insanely good. If you're missing Toto, come on. A lot of them are on there. It's so well done. I love the cover. Everything Steve Lukather touches to me is just golden. I'm so glad he's still here. I really enjoyed my last interview. He had the gray hair. He said that Trev, his son, encouraged him to let it go out. Some people said, "No, we liked it better before." Whatever. I even told Steve, if anybody saw I told Luke in the beginning, I said, look, I'm gray here. People don't believe me. They keep thinking I'm dyeing my hair. I don't care. If I dye my hair, I'd tell you. I used to dye this all the time. I looked like Rico Suave.
Sometimes he darkened. He would dye it. It was so dark. It was darker than his hair. It was
crazy. I don't know what I was thinking. Look at my old videos. You look and say, what's wrong with that guy?
Chuck Crow, hello from Georgia. Hi, Chuck. David, Richie Henman's book was #1 on Amazon recently.
Jim Henman, his cousin, sent me his email address. He said, Richie would love to talk to you, and I emailed Richie, and he never got back to me. So.
A music tracker, the Wham doc on Showtime was stellar. I really enjoyed it.
It was amazing.
Right when it came out, it was actually on Netflix that I saw it.
So amazing. I came upstairs from recording. Shannon's watching it. It's halfway through. And I said, "Shannon, I wanted to watch this." She says, "You never said that," which I never did. And I said, why would you want to watch this? And she says, well, I'll rewind it if you want. I'd love to see it again. And I'm going, no, we can watch from here. She says, and she looks at me going, okay, remember I offered. And she says, it's streaming. You can watch it anytime. That's my wife. She got spunk.
Darren says, speaking of Shannon, there's a singer named Brenda Shannon Green, known as Shannon, who did a hit in the early 80s called Let the Music Play.
Moonlighting back then?
Oh, I think I know that song.
Yeah.
Oh, Brian says, great cover art seems a lost art.
Yeah. Isn't that true? Well, the prog guys are still doing pretty good. Not that Luke's prog, but Luke's done prog, and he's more incapable of it. And Toto touched prog. But but the prog guys are still doing a pretty good job, I think. But the prog guys all sound metal now. A lot of the prog. What's he doing right now?
I have no idea.
We got a guy across the street who's always trying to. We have an apartment building behind there.
I think he's just trying to maybe do a
puts
barricade.
The barricade.
David May, my bro is in Shediac. Leo's in Fisherman's Paradise. Great seafood. You know what? I think, David, when we were back out east, I think you mentioned before a good seafood place in Shediac, but we never actually wanted. We've been to Shediac a few times, but never actually got there to enjoy that. So, and we're like miles and miles.
We ate someplace there. We had a place there. I forget where it was.
Bill Blazin said more on the original Molly Hatchet.
We haven't covered Molly Hatchet in a while, but we're still trying to get it. We're still delving into Skinner. Oh, you got a singer. We've got like 28 suites behind us. So if they want to spy on us, they really can. But we keep our windows closed for that.
Hike with Mike. Hey, nice to have you here, Mike.
Hi.
Diane Smith. Hey, guys. I am a brand new fan of you two. Heard you are 10 years apart. Way to go, Shannon. My husband and I were 14 years apart. I'm a big Poco fan. Randy and Timothy rock.
Yeah, we were just talking today about
Diane.
The Poco being the farm team for the Eagles, which, of course, Richie Fiore says, hey, wait a minute now. Take it easy. But the Eagles got Randy was the original bassist vocalist for Poco. And then he left. He went to the Eagles, then left. And then Timothy B. Schmidt left Poco and was in the Eagles. And I was talking to the longtime Eagles producer, Bill Simzik, yesterday. I'll have that on hopefully on the weekend. And I told him that theory, the farm team thing, and he said, "Well, they kind of were." So.
Oh, thank you so much.
Wow.
Thank you, Maddie K.
Thank you,
Great
Maddie
stream
K.
tonight, John and Shannon. Love what you do.
And now you can do that.
Keep on keeping it. Thank you,
Thank
Maddie.
you. We're gonna buy
very sweet.
We're gonna buy a 4K camera with that. Thank you.
Oh, a record hound says, "Yep,
Oh,
Vicki Lawrence recorded that LP on Bell Label."
Oh, I used to have a crush on Vicki Lawrence when I watched Carol. I remember going, Vicki Lawrence looks like she'd be Carol Burnett's daughter. Did anybody else think that? I remember thinking, is it me or they kind of look like they're related? But she wasn't. But I had a crush on Vicki Lawrence. I used to think she was so funny. Not when she played Grandma. What was that character she played when she was the old lady? They had a sitcom.
Yes.
Remember that?
I do. Let's see here.
Thank you. Is it Vicky K from USA? Yeah. Maddie K. I'm sorry.
You were thinking of Vicki Lawrence.
Vicki Lawrence, there you go.
Okay, so John at Village Advisory, I saw the Wham documentary. I didn't know there were 4 members of the band. What happened to the girls? Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see that part. Did you?
Yeah, there was two girls that were in with them for quite a bit.
And Andrew, you know what? None of that might have happened if it weren't for Andrew Ridgeley, who really pushed George Michael. And even though George Michael was destined to be a solo artist and much bigger than Andrew Ridgeley, would it have happened? Would it have happened as well if he hadn't pushed him? Andrew Ridgeley is a big part of that story. It's like Ray Williams introducing Elton John to Bernie Taupin. It's like Caleb Quaye sneaking Elton John into the studio at night to get some studio time. Would it have happened if Caleb hadn't done that? And that's an interview that's coming up this week as well.
Just Dine. I still can't pronounce it. Same here. I didn't even know.
It has to be Justiny, doesn't it?
Justiny. I didn't even know that Andrew Wrigley was
Ridgely.
originally was the guitarist. He was or even played.
He did play. He could actually play guitar. Yeah.
Also, XOXO Bob said, Wham was just basically a front for George Michael. Does anybody know exactly what Andrew Ridgely did in the group besides being George's friend? I would have to say my personal take on it. I was surprised because he was actually a very good support to George Michael through this.
And George Michael might have never have done it. You might say, "Oh, you never know." Yeah, you don't know. It was Paul McCartney who said years ago, the greatest bands probably weren't discovered. The greatest bands, she got pregnant. He had to get a job. Dad died. You had to go work in the field, this guy, or whatever circumstances keeps you away from what your dream is or what you think your dream is. There's always something in the way. I mean, and we live in a world of procrastinators. I know all about that. Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, Justine.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For your donation.
Oh, did you say thank? Did you like it? Yeah. Oh, no. I don't want to touch that.
Me neither.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We didn't know how to thumbs up it.
David May says Richie Furay is supposed to go to PEI in Nova Scotia in September.
Really? Oh, you know what? If we were still in the East, I would travel to go see Richie. You know, Richie's not a friend of mine or anything, but every time we talk to each other, say, "Hey, John, how you doing?" And after you do a few interviews with anyone, they'll go, "Hey, John, you're looking well. How's it going? What's new?" And you'll say a few things before you start the interview because you've interviewed them a few times. It's certainly that way with Luke. Certainly that way with any of the Toto guys. You know, that they say, "Hey, what's going on? What's new with you?" before you start the interview.
Maddie K USA said Vicki Lawrence was hot back in the day. Also, Vicki saying the night the lights went out in Georgia.
Yeah.
Fraser J. Shan, the Wham documentary is incredible, and thank you for the George Michael Freedom documentary review. He was a genius. Yeah, I, of course, like George Michael, so of course his Freedom documentary it's very good stuff.
We've been on that long? Wow.
Yeah.
Just time flies.
Jeffrey Lang says Vicki and Carol totally resembled each other.
Yeah, I really thought that. She looked like her daughter or younger sister or something.
Spacey says Vicki Lawrence was about 18 when she started with the Carol Burnett.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Wow.
Record Hound says, I love that Carol Burnett's outtakes where Vicki as Mama got Tim Conway really good.
Tim Conway was a funny guy. Harvey Korman, I mean, that whole... I love that show.
Brian says, when I was a kid, I had a crush on Carol Burnett. I always liked funny girls.
Yeah. There's some, you know how women, you'd always hear women would say, what do you want in a guy? And they'd go tall, this, that. And I like a person, a sense of humor. You know?
Music Tracker says, a Caleb Quay interview, hoping you interview Bernie Taupin, who has a book coming out.
Did I send it yet? It's in this computer. I have a letter. I think it's just open now that I wrote to the publicist. I'd love to talk to him. Yeah, I heard about the book. Are you just cherry picking?
Yes, people are kind of talking to each other here.
Oh, good.
Brad says Tony Bennett died today. Yes, we've been talking about that.
Yeah, that's why we have his picture.
Noah says new Beatles single song is interesting.
I haven't heard it. Is it out? Oh, the AI, the song that was helped with AI as far as getting John's vocals out.
David May said, did you know former Guess Who drummer Vance Masters passed away a couple weeks ago? Met him. He was a really nice guy.
No, I didn't know.
The Saline 786, please smash that like button. Yes, we so appreciate it. Thank you so much. Always helps with the algorithm.
Yeah, it really does.
Sorry.
Shannon was singing in the car today.
No, I'm not a good singer. Record Hound says, I know a good procrastination joke. I'll tell it to you tomorrow.
Oh, that was too easy. Man.
That was just super easy. Carrie Crouch. Hi, Carrie. Hi, John and Shannon. Always nice hanging out with you two on Friday nights.
Thank you for joining us. I appreciate that. John, it's so hot in here. It's crazy.
It's super hot. John Dyer says, greetings from Australia.
Hey,
hi, John.
John.
Nice to have you.
We were just talking today when my Australian friend Debbie Kruger came. She was an author and publicist in Australia. But we were just talking about the LRB gang today and all the folks, Tim Finn, Neil Finn, Jimmy Barnes, talking about In Excess, AC/DC. So many people were talking about today. The guy, Barry Gibb. Oh, I got something in my throat.
Noah says, no, it's not out yet, the Beatles song.
Okay.
But the story I meant is interesting.
Okay. Yeah. They needed to get John's vocals off that cassette or whatever it was. I forget what it was. I don't know why I'm not more interested, but I am interested. If it's there, I'll listen to it for sure. I love the Beatles. I'm a big Beatles fan. Are we good?
I think we're pretty good here. Oh, XO Bob, what do you think of Stranger Things reviving the careers of so many 80s artists? Yes, right? Kate Bush, like I think
best example.
It's a huge example. I think
Guardians of the Galaxy did that too. They brought back a lot of songs from the 70s and 80s.
Janet Langdon said Wham's original backup singer DC Lee went on to join the Style Council, so Wham brought in Pepsi.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Remember, I forget the Style Council song that we used to play at K-Light. We used to play a song.
Brian wants to know if you've ever interviewed Robin Trower.
No, off and on through the years we worked on it.
I'll put Eyes on the Prize Evangelism. I invented the classic rock format under my former name, Dick Hungate, so please Google the name if you wish to see articles and photo proof.
Okay. Thank you.
And
I invented the pickle. The pickle I invented.
Justine, if you look back, George had the chubby cheeks and wasn't chiseled, teeth not perfect. Originally was the haughty, and he said he was not bothered by it.
Who's the guy that I interviewed from Vancouver? He's dead now. A lounge singer. Oh, what was his name? He passed away. They did a documentary. His son, I think, did a documentary on him. Anyway, he used to play with Michael Bublé. And so I'm interviewing him. It's a long interview. Oh, anyway, I'm not getting the interview out. And a lot of times when I do an interview, it doesn't come out till like a month later. I'm just too far behind. And I'm a one-man show unless Chase helps me, and Chase, our 19-year-old son, works at Costco. He's busy. He's 19, right? So, what's his name? Anyway, he was a lounge singer, a local phenomenon in Vancouver. And at one point, he threatened to break my legs if I didn't put the interview up. But he also did something about Michael Bublé. He said, oh, Michael, he was starting off. And, I told him, Michael, just go fix your teeth. You got to go fix your teeth. You can't go on stage with teeth like that. I'm going, what was wrong with Michael's teeth? And then he calls me up and he says, can you take that down? I don't want Michael's teeth involved. I said, what's the big deal? It's just, if he had bad teeth, you asked him to fix his teeth. I don't know if he ever had bad teeth, but, what was that guy's name?
Before we sign off here, Adam Shadrick, thank you
for your super chat.
Why does this channel exist?
Who said that?
That's what he said.
Okay. Why does it exist? Because we interview classic rockers. Mm-hmm. Are you not familiar with the channel?
Probably not. Maddie K. Thank you, Maddie K.
Thanks.
Because it rocks. Oh.
I don't understand. Have you not checked out our channel and the people we've interviewed on this channel? We've kind of done okay on this channel, so I'm not sure what you mean by that.
But. And we've got some really, really great supporters and people that we connect with on Friday nights in our live chat. And it's a nice way to connect with others. I think it's great as we go through and we see people talking to each other. Or say, hey, nice to see you. So when I'm going through reading the comments, I'm like, oh, there's lots of stuff. Oh, Justine, thank you so much for your donation. Appreciate that.
Appreciate it. We're in a process. We might even do it tonight. We've got to buy an HD camera for this MacBook because this camera sucks. It's not a good camera. But if anyone does not know the channel, almost everything that's on this channel is interviews from people from the 60s, classic rockers from the 60s, 70s, 80s, sometimes 90s, but usually not. We don't touch that decade very much. And it's kind of our lane. This is what we do.
But that might not be like as an intro when you go on, because we have a lot of new people that come on and check us out at different
Can't
times.
assume they know.
You can't assume they know. It's always kind of good for us to do a little bit of recap too.
Let me just say something. Sometimes, and in broadcasting school, you're always taught, don't assume the people who are either reading your script or hearing your script as you're doing it, they know what the story is. In news, you've got to tell them the background. So-and-so was arrested today for the murder, blah, blah, blah. And then you got to explain, well, who was it? When did it happen? All the situations, right? Who, where, when they talk about that. So on YouTube, that doesn't happen a lot. And even for me, when I'm introducing, like Chris Thompson, that's the guy I was doing last night. We put up 6 Chris Thompson interviews just last night. First one came on today. Second one will be on at 1:15 p.m. Mountain Time tomorrow, 1:15 Mountain Time on Sunday, then back to 11 a.m. on Monday. So every day, the next, I think, 11 days, you'll get a Chris Thompson, Blinded by the Light lead singer, Man for Man. You'll get an interview, and the Joe Walsh bit is really funny. And if you're a member of our Patreon, you already have access to it. If you want to join our Patreon, it's in the description. We're putting a lot of Caleb Quay on there tonight, and the Bill Simzik, producer of the Eagles, will be on there Sunday. So there.
And as we close off here, thank you, XO Bob. Why does this channel exist? To brighten up our Friday nights with good people and musical knowledge.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, I mean, the guy who's asked gave us a $2 donation, so
right.
It's not all bad. So it's what we call it. They're called super chats on YouTube, and that's what they are. So we're going to wind up. Thank you, there, Danica. Go to the bathroom again. In the next couple of weeks, like I said, we're going to have Debbie Kruger, who's a writer who just is republishing her book on Australian writers. She's going to come on not next Friday, the Friday after. And Sean Kelly, who wrote a book called Don't Call It Hair Metal, is coming on next week. You can ask him questions. I'll put synopsis of the book as we do the invite. We'll just tell you certain people that he talks about, so you can ask about those people. So if you're not familiar with them, in the description, you'll see what the book covers. So if you want to ask him about any of those bands, you can. So, if you don't know them, you'll know just by reading the description.
Thank you so much for Adam for your donation. He goes, I didn't mean that in a bad way.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, no,
okay.
It's all good.
You were just asking. That's fine.
Yeah.
So it's all good. We just never know because, we get all kinds of crazy, you wouldn't believe some of the things that we get on here. Mm-hmm. Luckily, when we talk to our cohorts that do this stuff as well, we talk to a few other people. They don't all do music channels. They reach out to us. They go, hey, why don't you check out our channel? We have a channel. And I said, what kind of stuff do you get when you do live feeds? And when they're on there with their wives, or the wives are on there with their husband, the husbands are there with their wives because it's their channel, or else it's his channel. In this case, we do things together, and Shannon does a lot more things with me, so it works out.
I'm Maddie K. Thank you, Maddie K, for your donation. It's
Thanks,
all
Maddie
good,
K.
Adam. Cheers.
Oh, yeah, it's all good. Yeah.
It's all good,
Appreciate
for sure.
it. We just didn't know. So take care of yourself. Have a good weekend. When news breaks, in this weekend, if something happens, we'll come on. I mean, we work out of the house, right? That's kind of what we do.
1 second.
Oh, Danica wants her phone, so she always lets us know.
It's phone time.
We have to be on the phone with her because she has seizures, and she checks out, even though she's 25, she looks at Barney videos and the Wiggles, and because she's autistic, and that's part of the territory. Love you guys. Take good care.
Bye. Have a great